To understand how quickly safety can evaporate, we must start at the absolute edge of civilization. Picture a perfectly clear afternoon, golden wheat, a gentle breeze, and a young girl playing near her village. There is zero threat here. But safety breeds curiosity. The catalyst for danger is often a simple distraction. A shimmering sapphire anomaly catches her eye. Its erratic flight path creates a breadcrumb trail, pulling her directly away from the open fields. Following that trail, she crosses an invisible boundary. Within a few dozen steps, the dry grass gives way to damp earth and exposed roots. She steps into the untamed woods. Almost immediately, the environment turns hostile. The dense canopy chokes out the sunlight, dropping temperature. Massive, twisted pillars of wood hem her in from all sides, their gnarled branches blocking sky. Then the guide vanishes. The blue butterfly is gone. Without the sun to provide a bearing, surrounded by identical looming shadows, she realizes she has lost all direction. She is completely isolated. The ground begins to vibrate. A deep, rhythmic thud echoes through the trunks, snapping branches under immense weight. Something massive is moving toward her. Within minutes, the sunny afternoon has collapsed. The open playground has become a locked room, trapping a vulnerable child with an unknown approaching leviathan. The canopy parts to reveal a towering, 20-foot behemoth composed of dense wood and thick moss. Its sheer size and physical density suggest a force built for destruction. But the anticipated roar never comes. Instead, the creature speaks with a low, resonating hum, like a cello, assuring her he only eats sunlight and rainwater. The tension breaks. What follows is a study in precise physical control. The giant possesses the raw strength to uproot a mature oak, yet he extends a massive wooden hand with delicate restraint to pick up the fragile girl. By lifting her onto his broad shoulder, he shifts her spatial reality. She is elevated onto a secure platform, looking down at hazards she once feared. From 20 feet in the air, the hostile geometry of the woods dissolves. Glowing moss and bioluminescent flora illuminate the path, turning suffocating shadows into a field of light. Yet the forest remains physically unforgiving. A treacherous, fast-moving river cuts violently across the terrain, blocking any path forward for someone her size. It is a fatal barrier for a child alone. But when paired with intentional power, that same barrier becomes trivial. The giant acts as a shield against the lethal mechanics of the wild. The giant approaches the river with mechanical precision. Using his immense leverage, he shifts massive boulders into the rushing current, methodically constructing a bridge across the deadly rapids. They cross together. This shared navigation begins to bridge the gap between two drastically different beings, turning a moment of survival into an act of collaboration. The terrain shifts upward, presenting their final major obstacle, a steep, craggy hilltop that blocks out the sky and obscures the final route home. Here, the giant deploys his greatest advantage, sheer verticality. Reaching the summit, he lifts her high above the canopy, finally allowing her to see past the clearing storm clouds. Miles away, piercing through the twilight, a cluster of tiny, flickering orange lights appears, the hearth fires of her village. Her survival relied on a specific set of tools. The very scale and bulk that initially seemed like a threat were the exact mechanical requirements necessary to navigate the wilderness. The geographical journey comes full circle as heavy footsteps deliver her back to the edge of the woods, where the wheat fields meet the tree line. But safety presents one final conflict. Her parents arrive, and when they see the massive, shadowed silhouette looming over their missing daughter, their defensive instincts take over. She immediately steps between them. Having lived through the journey, she acts as a translator, quickly explaining the giant's careful actions and calming her parents' fears. The parents' defensive postures collapse. Seeing their daughter safe on the giant's shoulder, their fear turns into an immediate, visible relief. His task complete, The giant silently retreats into the dense foliage. Looking back into the darkness, his massive, mossy hand and glowing eyes are now the quiet, comforting markers of a watchful guardian. We are often wired to fear what is large and unfamiliar. But the most intimidating exteriors can hide a drive to protect and a natural instinct for empathy.